The Medellín dream is ending. For the last 5 years, Colombia was the undisputed king of the digital nomad world. Medellín, Bogota, Cartagena. The weather was perfect. The cost of living felt like a cheat code. And the lifestyle was, honestly, ridiculous. Earn in dollars, spend in pesos, live like royalty. And for a while, it worked. But today, the mood has shifted. Moving trucks are filling up. Leases are being broken. And WhatsApp groups that used to be party plans are now full of one topic: Colombia's wealth tax. And not just any wealth tax, a system that can hit up to 5% per year at the higher income levels. So in this video, I'm going to break down what the wealth tax actually is, why the 2026 version is scaring people, how expats accidentally get trapped in tax residency, and what the smartest people are doing right now to protect their money and their lifestyle. Because the Medellín dream is not dead, but it's definitely more expensive, and it's definitely more dangerous financially. To understand why people are leaving, you have to understand something bigger than taxes. You have to understand the atmosphere. For a long time, Colombia wanted foreign investment. They wanted you to rent condos, buy real estate, spend money, bring in dollars. And Colombia benefited from that. Cafes grew, co-working spaces exploded, while entire neighborhoods became expat zones. But now the political message has changed. The current administration has learned harder that by leaning into the idea of redistribution and making the rich pay, the government can influence policy. And the moment a government starts speaking like that, investors don't debate, they don't argue, they don't post angry tweets, they just adjust their risk model. Because this isn't just a small tax change, this is a direct signal. It tells you what might happen next: more taxes, more enforcement, more reporting requirements, more pressure on anyone with assets. And I'm not saying this to be dramatic. I'm saying this because it's what history shows. When a government begins to treat capital as the enemy, capital leaves. Not all at once, but steadily, quietly. And by the time the public notices, the money is already gone. Now let's get technical. Colombia's wealth tax is called Impuesto al Patrimonio. Most countries tax your income, what you earn, but Colombia also taxes your net worth, what you already built. This is a tax on success, a tax on savings, a tax on the value you've accumulated over years of work. And here's the 2026 update. The wealth tax is progressive, with rates that start lower and can reach as high as 5% at the top end. Let me repeat that: 5% every year on net worth, not on income, not on profit, on assets. And that makes it a completely different animal. Now, the second piece is where expats get blindsided. If you become a Colombian tax resident, Colombia can consider your worldwide assets in the calculation, meaning your US brokerage account, your retirement accounts, your rental property back home, your crypto wallet, your business equity. It's not just what's inside Colombia. So when someone says, "Jares, my money isn't in Colombia," that doesn't automatically save you. If you're a tax resident, it can still count. Now let's do simple math. Say you're not even a mega rich person. Say you're a normal, successful entrepreneur. You've got a home back wherever you're from, some investments, a little bit of retirement money. You built a net worth of, let's say, 1.5 million. In a normal retirement plan, that's not crazy wealth. That's just being responsible. Now imagine you trigger wealth tax exposure and you're paying a meaningful percentage each year. Even 1% is painful. But when the system can go up to 5% at higher net worth levels, the psychological effect is massive because now you're not retiring, you're bleeding. Every year your assets are taxed just for existing. And here's what people don't understand. A wealth tax stacks. It stacks on top of income taxes, dividend taxes, capital gains, bank reporting, compliance stress. This isn't a lifestyle decision anymore. It becomes a financial strategy question. And smart people ask, is Colombia still worth it if the government wants a slice of everything I built? Now, you might be thinking, easy solution, Jers. I'll just avoid tax residency. Sounds simple, but here's the trap. Colombia uses the 183-day rule in a rolling 12-month period. Stay long enough and you trigger tax residency. And expats mess this up constantly. Here's how it happens in real life. Let's say you arrive in January, you stay through March, you leave for 2 weeks, you come back, then you stay through summer, and suddenly you realize you've been in Colombia more than you think. It doesn't feel like a long stay because you're not working a 9 to 5. There's no office calendar, it's just life. And then one day, you're on day 184, and now you've entered a different world because now it's no longer cool traveler living the dream. It becomes tax residency exposure. And people try to do the 170-day strategy. They say, I'll stay 170, 179 days, and then I'll leave. And here's what breaks that plan. A missed flight, a sick family member, a relationship, a business opportunity, a visa issue, a stamp error, and suddenly you're caught. So here's the reality. If you have serious assets, the safest strategy isn't playing calendar roulette. The safest strategy is don't make Colombia your tax home. Visit, enjoy it, but be extremely careful about becoming physically attached to it. Now, let's talk about something nobody puts on Instagram, the stress. Because even if you can afford the wealth tax, the bigger problem is what it does to your life. You came to Colombia to simplify, to relax, to live cheaper, to enjoy freedom. But once taxes become a threat, your life gets complicated. Now you're tracking days, tracking accounts, tracking assets. Now you're asking, how do I value this? What exchange rates count? What's considered taxable? What if I sell this? What if I move this? And that creates a psychological shift. Instead of enjoying Medellín, you're thinking about Dion. And that's the part people don't admit. Taxes don't just take money, they take mental energy. And for expats, mental energy is the whole point. You moved for freedom. So if your freedom country becomes a country you fear misstepping in financially, the whole value proposition, well, it collapses. Now we get to the final factor, risk. Because Colombia has always had an unspoken deal. The deal was, yes, it's chaotic sometimes. Yes, it's not Europe, but it's cheap. And the lifestyle is worth it. That trade worked when taxes were low enough that you still felt like you were winning. But if the tax burden rises, the deal breaks. Because if I'm paying Switzerland level pressure, I want Switzerland level safety. If I'm paying high taxes, I want stability, clean streets, predictable institutions, and peace of mind. If I'm not getting that, then the only question is, why am I paying premium prices for a non-premium environment? That's when expats leave, not because they hate Colombia, because the math stops working. So what do you do if you're in Colombia right now, or if you were planning to move? Here's the play. You don't rage quit, you reposition. You keep Colombia as a lifestyle destination, but you move your legal base somewhere smarter. Two common options our clients look at. Option one, Panama. It's a short flight from Medellín, dollar economy, territorial tax approach. It's a jurisdiction that can make a lot of sense. And the second option we help a lot of people with, Paraguay. Lower costs of living still, a quiet lifestyle, simple setup, often used as a long-term base. Then Colombia becomes the fun place you visit. 2 months, 3 months, enjoy everything, but do not become the tax resident. Because here's the truth, Colombia can still be amazing, but you need to treat it like a destination, not a fiscal home. And if you're already in the system, or you want to exit cleanly before you cross thresholds, you need a plan, not vibes, a plan. Because in 2026, wealth tax pressure is real, and it can reach up to 5% on the upper levels. If you're sitting in Colombia right now and you have real assets, you need to ask yourself a serious question. Is this still a lifestyle win, or is this becoming a wealth trap? If you need help structuring a clean exit or building a better residency plan, we help clients do this exact move. Click the link below, book a free 15-minute call. We'll look at your situation, build a clean strategy, and get you positioned correctly before you accidentally trigger residency again. Because you don't want to be the last one at the party when the lights turn on. I'll see you in the next video.